Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that Apple reportedly cancels plans to build an electric car. Apple will wind down its team working on electric cars, according to Bloomberg. The news signals that Apple will cease its secretive effort to build a car to rival Tesla. Reports of Apple's ambition to build a car first surfaced in 2014. After a decade of work, the company is reportedly giving up on its ambitious effort to create an autonomous electric car. So there. Apple's electric car project is basically dead. But before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to buy me a coffee in the video description below. And please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icons so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Apple will wind down its team working on electric cars called Special Projects Group, according to Bloomberg. Apple has halted its long-rumored Project Titan work on developing an electric car, according to Bloomberg. The company reportedly announced the news internally on Tuesday and said many people in the 2,000-person team behind the car will shift to generative AI efforts instead. Apple's chief operating officer Jeff Williams and Kevin Lynch, a vice president in charge of the project, informed employees of the project's discontinuation, Bloomberg reports. The outlet adds that there will also be layoffs, but it's not clear how many workers it will affect. Apple's efforts to build its own electric car have been rumored for years, and recent reports suggested Apple was still working on the project. Earlier this month, Wired reported that Apple had driven over 45,000 miles in 2023 using the autonomous driving tech it's developed, while Bloomberg said in January, Apple pushed back the car's expected launch to 2028. The Verge reached out to Apple with a request for comment, but didn't immediately hear back. Rumors about Apple's secretive car project, nicknamed Project Titan, first emerged in 2015. Apple hired a number of key leaders to work on the project, including Tesla's former Autopilot software director and the former CEO of the embattled EV startup Canoo. However, the project seems to have hit a number of roadblocks over the years, including the 2021 departure of Apple car chief Doug Field. In 2022, a report from The Information outlined how Apple had struggled with high turnover among staff, constantly changing plans, and internal skepticism. Meanwhile, other reports suggested that the car, which was rumored to remain under the $100,000 threshold, wouldn't come with the advanced self-driving capabilities the company initially hoped. Shifting its resources to AI might make sense for Apple, as it's reportedly spending millions of dollars a day on training an AI model of its own called Ajax. Apple CEO Tim Cook also recently confirmed that Apple is launching generative AI features later this year, while rumors indicate the company is testing AI updates for Spotlight and Xcode. Even though Apple may have abandoned the self-driving electric vehicle dream, Sony and Honda are still working to open pre-orders for their Afeela electric cars with autonomous features in North America next year, ahead of a rollout in 2026. The news signals that Apple will cease its secretive effort to build a car to rival Tesla. The program employed thousands of employees, but never fit with Apple's core business of electronics and online services, and raised questions about what companies Apple would tap to manufacture a car. Reports of Apple's ambition to build a car first surfaced in 2014 after the company recruited automotive engineers and other talent from car companies. There were few public indications of the company's plans, but Apple operated a program where autonomous Apple-owned cars equipped with sensors and piloted by safety drivers drove around the San Francisco Bay Area. The department had several reorganizations over the years, including layoffs in 2019 when employees were moved to different parts of the company. Some Apple employees in the company's car division may move to a generative artificial intelligence team, according to Bloomberg. The company has other automotive-related projects, including its infotainment-oriented CarPlay software. Apple shares rose about 1% on the news. Apple declined to comment. Electric vehicles, EVs, have indeed faced some challenges recently. While sales have been strong in the past, there are signs that demand has slowed down. Let's explore the reasons behind this. Inventory pileup. EVs are accumulating on car lots across the country. Inventories have increased by 506% compared to a year ago, and EVs are sitting on the market for an average of 82 days, whereas gas-powered vehicles spend 64 days on the lots. Price remains a barrier. Despite price cuts and government incentives, EVs are still considered too expensive for most people. In September, the average price paid for a new EV was $50,683, down from $52,212 in August. and significantly lower than the $65,295 a year earlier. However, the new average EV list price is still 28% higher than that of gas vehicles. Total cost of ownership. Beyond the initial purchase price, the total cost of owning an EV during the first 5 years remains higher. Factors such as installing at-home chargers, around $2,000 upfront, and insurance costs contribute to this. While EVs save on fuel, dropping gas prices have reduced that incentive. Additionally, maintenance costs may be lower, but heavier EVs tend to wear down tires faster. Tax credits. Starting January 1st, eligible buyers can now take up to $7,500 in EV credits upfront instead of waiting until tax season. However, only a small fraction of well-researched consumers may be factoring in this updated tax credit guidance. State and local credits. Some state and local tax credits are available for additional vehicle and charger savings, but they can be confusing and time-consuming for most consumers to research. Despite these challenges, EV sales are still expected to rise, with the market on track to surpass 1 million sales for the first time ever in November. The transition to electric vehicles is ongoing, but addressing affordability and infrastructure will be crucial for sustained growth. The move comes as Chinese EV maker BYD launched its new Dolphin EV starting under $14,000 as price war with ICE cars heats up. As Chinese electric car companies reveal new models at a rapid pace, they're piling in a slew of features: in-car projectors, refrigerators, and driver assist. Electric vehicles in China becomes a consumer electronics product. It's similar to the cell phone industry, said Li Yi, chairman and CEO of Appotronics, a Shenzhen-based laser display company that claims to work with major automakers. He expects that demand for car tech will help his new auto segment generate a few hundred million yuan this year in revenue, the equivalent of $40 million to $100 million. Hot competition in China's electric car market is pushing local automakers to sell vehicles with fancy tech that Tesla doesn't yet offer in the country, and sometimes at lower prices. No longer are companies competing primarily on driving range. Instead, as they reveal new models at a rapid pace, they're piling on a slew of features: in-car projectors, refrigerators, and driver assist, to name a few. Tesla's cars don't come with those accessories, and Elon Musk's automaker only offers a limited version of its driver assist tech in China right now. It's similar to the cell phone industry, said Li Yi, chairman and CEO of Appotronics, a Shenzhen-based laser display company that claims to work with major automakers. In China, I think it's more entertainment, more gadgets. People really want to buy something with the most advanced tech specs, he said, adding that in Europe, people focus more on functionality. The 6-seater car comes with a refrigerator, collapsible front seats, and instead of a physical dashboard, tech that projects the information so it appears overlaid on the road ahead. This tech, known as AR HUD, can also display navigation instructions. The M9 SUV sells for about 470,000 yuan to 570,000 yuan, 66,320 to 8430. In comparison, Tesla's Model Y, a mid-sized SUV, starts at 258,900 yuan, while the Model S sedan starts at 698,900 yuan. Among other well-known competitors, Li Auto's L9 SUV starts at 429,900 yuan and comes with AR HUD, a refrigerator, and driver assist tech. Xpeng's G9 SUV, widely considered a leader in China for driver assist tech on city streets, starts at 289,900 yuan. That's just a peek at the swath of cars and the available bells and whistles in China. More than 100 new EV models are due to launch in 2024 in China, according to HSBC. Consumers' interest in new car models has focused on in-vehicle tech features and driver assist capabilities, far more advanced than prior electric cars or traditional gasoline-powered vehicles, said Yiming Wang, analyst at China Renaissance Securities. Price and maximizing mileage are two other top considerations for consumers, Wang said. The Shanghai-listed company previously made about $300 million in overall revenue a year, Li said. When asked about Tesla, Li said he wasn't authorized to disclose details, but said people at the U.S. automaker want something completely different than Chinese carmakers. He also noted that in Appotronics' experience, Chinese customers are willing to pay a premium for car tech, while U.S. automakers are more focused on reducing costs. That's because electric car batteries and other parts aren't made in the U.S., which means American companies are already paying a premium for core components of the electric car, Li said. But what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors, including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school, as well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.